Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to my channel. And today is Saturday podcast episode 75, I think. Yeah, it'll be up there in the corner somewhere over here. Whatever it is. And of course it was in the title. So, Anyway, so welcome everybody. Welcome to another update, another weekly update of what's been going on with me this week and what happens here on this channel if you're just kind of poking around. There's spinning yarn. There's dyeing yarn, weaving on a rigid heddle loom. There's tutorials, knitting, crocheting, Tunisian crocheting, needle tatting, weaving demonstrations, spinning demonstrations, both on an electric nano spinning wheel and manual spinning wheels. There is so many different things in this channel. So if like this past week was, strictly based knitted, that's just where I was in my creativity at that point in time. And there might be crochet the following week, or it might be a mix of fiber arts one week, where it might be a knitted tutorial, crochet tutorial, and then Tunisian crochet. You never know. I'm always designing. My brain is always going. And sometimes I have to sit myself down and say, stop it. You've done too much of that. You need to do something else. But if you are new to knitting, or you haven't knitted at all, or you're struggling, there is basic knitting series playlist. And speaking of playlist, I have been working on my playlist and separating things out. Go check them out. There's like 50 playlists at this present moment, because I'm working on generating more of a knitted hat, crocheted hats, or beanies, cowls, and separating them all out. So if you're looking for something in particular, you can go straight to that playlist. Now, if you don't see it there, check my all, and it might be in there. Because like I said, I'm in the process of working on moving things to separate playlists, but all of my videos, every single one, including my live videos, go into a playlist that's called all. So all videos or something like that. I dump them all into that every single time. And they also get put into other playlists. So if you don't see it, please let me know, and I'll come up with something. I'll try to come up with something. Let me put it that way. But yeah, the tutorials and stuff like that is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I also do crochet alongs and knit alongs and tat alongs. And I just noticed that my last tat along was over a year ago now. So that might be something that's coming into play with this pattern that I'm working on. I really, really am trying hard to get it just so that I'm happy with it, and we can either have a full tutorial on it or spread it out so that way you can work on it over the course of a few weeks. We'll see. Like I said, I'm still working on it, and I have another design that I'm getting ready to start filming. I said that last week, and then my brain went into design mode again. Ugh. Yeah, it's like sometimes I feel like I need a V8, slow down and separate this all out. But Thursday nights is Spin and Chat Live. I spin yarn. We sit around and chit chat. Always have a great time. All kinds of different topics. Questions are welcome. If you have any questions about spinning or what I'm doing or anything to do with spinning yarn, I welcome them. I also welcome any other types of questions that, might be referring to one of my videos or specific knitted or tatted or crocheted or whatever, I welcome questions at any point in time. There is no dumb question, not at all. Just ask away and we'll do our best to answer it. If nobody in the chat or myself or my guests can't answer it, we will find you an answer if at all possible. So by all means, come hang out and chat. Saturdays, I do my live, what has spring been up to this week? So let's go ahead and get into that. We're already 5 minutes in, my goodness. So what have I been up to this week? Well, I did dye some fiber and I've made some designs. I reworked one of my designs and I have muddled over what yarn I was going to use to record for a previous design. You ready for all this? All right. So a while back, like before YouTube, I had designed a raglan style knitted sweater with some hand dyed yarn that I had dyed. And the bottom of it, I liked the style that I finished it with, but my bind off was too tight. It was uncomfortable and too tight. So I haven't really wore it. So I decided to finally, since it's winter, I finally decided to jerk it down off the shelf and undo the bind off and start working on the bottom to something that I like. Now I did put a lifeline in here so that way I can pick up all the stitches again and continue working. I was trying it on and seeing where things were and I just put a lifeline in. But this is it. This is the top, and then like I said, it's raglan style. And I marled several colorways that I had, or striped, several colorways that I had dyed up. So this is it. And down here at the bottom, we have some elongated stitches. If I can get this up here. There we go. And that is the same on the back as well. At the bottom of the cuff, this is just to the elbow. At the bottom of the cuff, I decided to do like a basket weave style there. And that's what I had done at the bottom. But when I cast off, bound off, it made it too tight and like I said, very uncomfortable. So finally getting back around to reworking that after like 2 years now. So if you haven't seen it, I have a video that I put out. We're going to switch gears and move into the fiber that I dyed. I put out a video, I think it was Wednesday evening, on the fiber that I wanted to dye, and with acid dye that I had purchased on a Black Friday sale. I'd never used acid dye before. I went 100% by the book as far as what everything said to do. This is the yarn that I spun to dye. That's it dyed. And then Thursday night, I was spinning the braid, the roving, that I dyed with the same exact colors, just in braided roving instead of spun yarn. So now I'm spinning it to ply it together, and I'm going to do it in a fractal style. And I finished what I had on the first half, and I am now currently working on the second half, and it's a bit of a disaster right now. Not the actual spinning itself. That's perfectly fine. But breaking down to create a fractal spin, breaking down my second half of the fiber so I can spin it in a single to ply together to make a fractal. I've got fiber everywhere from where I've been pulling it apart. So that's what I'm working on currently. I finished the the first half, it's ready to go. Now I'm just working on the second half, and hopefully by the end of the weekend, I will have a hank of yarn, or at least close to a hank of yarn. And we'll see what it looks like plied together. What I mean by fractal, and excuse the rattling, I didn't think to prepare this. What I mean by fractal is you spin half of the amount, split it straight down the center, spin it straight through all of the colors, and then you have these long sections of color. And the second half, when you split it apart, the second half, you break it down into how many ever strips, thin strips instead of a whole bunch. And you spin those. What that does is it causes that particular half to have shorter color stripes. So when you ply the long color stripes with the short color stripes and you ply them together, you end up with something like this. You get this like barber pole effect. Like that. So this was done fractal quite a ways back. So that is what your fractal spinning looks like. And I'm excited to do it with this fiber that I've dyed. I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture here of the dye, where it's sitting, where I've dyed it. Of course, it's a lot lighter than what it was freshly dyed and still wet. Okay, so now we're going to go back into the designs and knitted and crocheted. This past week, I have an ear warmer that came out, and actually one of you awesome viewers has made this up in not a solid color, but like a self-striping. It's awesome. It'll be in the slideshow at the end of this. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I love it. So she did a fantastic job, and you can see the difference between mine, which is two-tone, and hers, which striped. It's really, really cool looking. But this was made, and when I made this, I needed to make a tutorial, and I'm like, I don't want two of them. And so I decided that I would figure out how to turn it into a hat from this. Not too complicated, but you know, nevertheless, I needed to do that. So when I was recording for that, I actually was also recording for a hat. So here's the hat. Here's the top of it. I still say it looks like soft serve ice cream, but that's the top of it. That's how it finishes off. And this is in the two-tone. So you'll be able to see that this coming week. It'll be a tutorial available this coming week. It is knitted, and I did play around just a little bit with trying to come up with a crocheted pattern that's very similar to that. So yeah, it'd be a bottom up hat if I did it, but we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. I still got to do this. What's this? I showed you a few weeks ago my finished poncho, this pink thing. It's a couple of Saturdays back. I will add that in at the end of this video. It'll be up in one of the two corners. That'll take you back to the Saturday where this is showing, and you can see pictures of front and back. I finally decided on a yarn to use to record. I was going to do it in a 4-weight, but I have come to the decision that I'm going to actually record it in mandala, which is a 3-weight, which is what I did that in to begin with. I like the flow of it. I really like the flow of it. So I'm going to be using mandala. Again, you don't have to, and if you want to do it in a 4-weight, that's perfectly okay. I'm just going to say that right now, it's going to be very big if you do it in a 4-weight, because you're going to have to use a bigger hook and in order to get the drapiness. But if you've got some mandalas laying around still and you're kind of wondering what to do with them, yeah, at least 3 of them, I'm thinking. It's going to take at least 3, I think. We'll see once I get going, because I am altering it. So it's not going to be exactly like you've seen it in that Saturday, but it's going to be very close. I'll just say one of the main things that I want to change is the big areas here. I don't want them that big. I want it to be much closer together. That's one of the things that I'm going to change. And the other thing that I'm going to change is where it sits on your shoulder, which I explained that in that video as well. But that is it for me today. I have yacked y'all's ears off long enough. I am going to go gather up all those awesome pictures that everybody sent for the slideshow and get that together for you. So that way you can watch the slideshow. Check out that. Really cool looking. It's black. You know, a couple rows are black, or a row is black and then a row is color. Oh, it's so awesome. I absolutely love it. And I'm like, oh, I got to get that yarn. So anyway, that is it for me today. I am going to scoot off and do this other slideshow for you. If you want to join in the slideshow anytime in the future, I post a post on Facebook in the Facebook group, which all of these links are down below in the description box. I post a link in the Facebook group and on Thursday morning where you can start adding pictures. I'll collect from there, as well as my email. If you'll email it to me and just say for the slideshow, then I can, you know, go from there and add it. Hopefully the pictures show up. Sometimes they don't. So I might email you and say, hey, I didn't get the pictures. But we all enjoy seeing everybody else's work that we normally don't get to see. We recognize your name in lives or in, you know, comments. And it's so awesome to be able to see other people's work. So thank you for sharing. And thank you for watching this exceptionally long podcast for me today. And be blessed, be a blessing. And until next video, bye for now, everyone.